What's going on, guys? It's Austin from the 2nd Militia. So today I'm going to be doing a review on the Sig P365. It is clear, as you can see. I did a review after I rented it and ran a bunch of rounds through it at my local gun shop. Well, local range technically, but same difference. Anyways, and I told you that the only way I would get it is if I had 3 different firing pins. Well, a buddy of mine that owns one told me, man, you didn't really give it a fair shake because you don't own it. He said, and you're just kind of going off of what you've heard and then that short experience off of one that you have no idea how many rounds are through it and how harshly it's been treated. Well, come to find out, spoke to my gun shop, and that Sig had a little over 10,000 rounds through it, and it was cosmetically beat up, and they sold it, and the guy that bought it still has yet to have a problem with it, which is awesome. So with that being said, I talked myself into buying it, and I love it. I've already put quite a few rounds, enough for a break-in period, and it has done exceptionally well. I haven't had any hiccups, problems, jams, nothing. I've had no problems. I've ran Hornady Critical Defense through it. I've ran at the range Federal 115 ball. I've ran Spear Gold Dot. Ran a variety of ammunition through it, and I've yet to have a failure. I do have the 12 round mag, and I'm not going to rack it, but just to show you how it looks with the 12 round mag. I mean, you can get a really good purchase on the firearm with the 12 round mag. Now, the thing that sucks about that is Sig does not ship with the 12 round mag. They only ship with the 2 10 round mags, and this is the flush fit, and with the flush fit, that pinky kind of hangs off. But with the one that has the small extension on the pinky, and I'm not going to rack this, you can still get, and I got large hands, you can still get a good purchase on it with just the pinky extension until you can afford to get the 12 round mag. But overall, I really do enjoy the gun. The grip is really small, it's really ergonomic, and it feels great in the hand. And as y'all know, I've had a 43, I've had a Shield 2.0, and both of those guns were pretty snappy. This gun compared to those guns is nowhere near snappy. This is actually a pretty flat shooter for the size that it is. I don't know if that's due to the extra weight in the magazine when it's fully loaded. I don't know. But when I ran, because I ran 115 Federal ball through it, and then I ran Hornady Critical Defense, and when I ran the Hornady Critical Defense through it, it was super smooth. The sights on it are awesome. It's got the Sig X-ray night sights. The trigger brake on it is awesome. I mean, it's an awesome gun out of the factory. And this is the Gen 2. There's, as you can tell, there's no marring on the mags, which was a concern. I was afraid that I was going to have a trigger issue or striker issue, and I've had none of those issues. Right now, I'm carrying it in a Fierce Defender inside the waistband holster, and I mean, it snaps right in. It had one of those little doodads that comes off and pushes the gun into you. I didn't like that because the doodad come up to about right here, so when I went to get my grip, it always scratched my finger and I couldn't get a good grip coming out of holster. So I took that off and then reset the screws and the retention on it. I mean, the retention on it's awesome, but that doodad made it to where it was hard to get a good grip coming out of the holster. Now, the gun itself, it's such a sweet shooter. I can't say enough good things about it. If you're looking into getting one, I will say talk to your local gun shop. If they got a range, ask them if they got one in the range. Ask them if they know about how many times it's been rented. Because if you know how many times it's been rented, most ranges make you buy a box of their ammunition, which is 50 rounds. So you can times that by 50 and get a rough estimate. But for somebody like me that bought the box of 50 rounds and then ran 200 rounds of Federal through it, you know, you'll know that it's probably a lot more. I mean, this gun's awesome. It's super concealable. The thickness of it, I think, is like right at an inch. I mean, it's an awesome gun. It's got forward slide serrations on it. I mean, it does its job. But here's the big but for me. The grip, like I said, it feels good in hand, but the grip is just a little too small for me. The circumference of the grip itself. Those of you that know I have a Glock 19 that I run, and I mean, this, like I said, this thing is awesome, but the grip is just too small for me. I mean, it's almost to where, you know, it's touching right here, and I don't want that. And even when I put my support hand up, I mean, I got big hands. So this is a good gun for, you know, anybody that has to have a lot in a small package, and this is a lot in a small package. I think a female that would carry this it'd be great just because of the recoil management on it, the ergonomics of it, and the small grip. But however, I am going to be getting rid of this and getting a Glock 26 Gen 4 because it has the finger grooves and it's thicker. The finger grooves I liked on the Glocks. However, my Glock 19 does not have finger grooves, so I'm going to run it both ways just to see how it works out. But I definitely give my stamp of approval on the P365. Don't go off of what you hear on the internet. Do your research. Talk to somebody that's owned it. You know, talk to the range. See how many times, if they can tell you how many times it's been rented or roughly how many rounds it has through it. You know, it's an awesome gun. And then, you know, just whenever you hit the mag, I mean, the mag shoots out. I mean, it's awesome how positive it is when you hit that magazine release. It just shoots out, and then whenever you're, you know, going for the reload, that mag just slides in and locks into place. I mean, it's an awesome gun. So, you know, whenever I made the video, the 365 wasn't my cup of tea. It's still not my cup of tea. I mean, just the handle, the grip itself, is the circumference is too small for my liking, and I want to be as adequate as possible. And with something this small, yes, I could reach down, especially with a 12 round mag, and get a decent grip on it, come out to presentation and get some accurate shots on target. I can do it, but I just don't like the way it feels in my hand. Like, the ergonomics themselves are comfortable, but whenever I'm getting that good strong grip, I don't like the way that it feels in my hand. With the 12 round mag, I get a full grip. I mean, it's awesome, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the circumference of the grip, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. But other than that, this gun has been awesome. It's relentless. If it's something that you're looking to get, I definitely would suggest getting a P365. I mean, they're awesome guns, and you can't beat it for 500 bucks. I mean, these guns are awesome. I mean, they're straight out awesome. And there's a lot of aftermarkets already on the market for these things. You know, you can get aftermarket barrels, aftermarket triggers, an aftermarket striker. Which, me personally, if I would have had I decided to keep this gun, I would have put an aftermarket striker in it. Not because there's any issue with the striker, I'm having any issue, but because it also lightens the trigger just a hair. I would have put an aftermarket trigger on there. This trigger is comfortable. You can shoot it all day and it won't bother you like a Glock will. I mean, everything about this gun is comfortable. It was well made, well thought out. I mean, even the texture on the grip, I mean, is just really aggressive and awesome. So, with that being said, if I was you, I would get it, but it's just not my cup of tea. It is what it is. Some people probably hate me for saying that, but I'm going with the Glock 26 because the grip on it is thicker. It is a double stack, and I have magazine compatibility with, you know, my other Glocks. So with that being said, do your research. Don't go off of what Military Arms Channel says. Don't go off of what Harry's Holster says. Don't go off of what everybody else says. Go talk to your range, your gun shop. Ask them what the rep says. You know, because a lot of people don't know that less than 0.8 Sig Sauer 365s have been affected by the striker. 0.08. You know, it's such a small number of guns that went back, it's unreal. And because you got paid platforms that are bashing the Sig Sauer market, you know, people are trying to stray away from these, and I wouldn't. They're an awesome gun. They're a great gun. You know, and, you know, people ask, well, why, if it's such a great gun, why are you getting rid of it? I don't like the circumference of the grip. That is the only issue I have, is I do not like the circumference of the grip. So that's why I'm going with a Glock 26. And not only that, with the Glock 26 I have magazine compatibility, and I got a bunch of aftermarket parts for the Glock that are going to be able to go onto a 26, so I can do more with it off, you know, just right offhand. But with that being said, guys, I'm out. And please, I can't stress enough, do your research on this gun.